I think this part will be quite long, so without further ado, let's just get started straight away. A big spoiler warning: if you guys still have not read The Wheel of Time or are planning to read it, watch my spoiler-free review up on the top, or watch part 1 if you read the first 10 chapters. But other than that, let's get started. Last time our 4 Emmonsfielders, with Tom included, with obviously Lan and Moraine, they had to depart from the Emmonsfield. They were going north to Tarrant Ferry, and that's where we meet a new weird looking creature, man. It's called the Dragka. I'll fix that in the next part. I'll promise you I'll fix that in the next video, but we'll just call him the Dragka for now. And we also learn about the Dark Friends as well. The Dark Friends are like pretty much spies of the Dark One. That's what I have gathered so far. So once everyone got to Tarrant Ferry, Lan hired, I think, a boat to cross the river. So once they did that, Moraine did something very, very unexpected. I was very surprised when she did this. She used her power. She created like a tornado, or like I forgot what they were called in the book, but it was like a tornado, right? And she completely smashed the boat into pieces. What? Maybe it's because she doesn't want anyone to suspect where they are, or to hide trails. I think maybe that's why, but still, like, I did not expect that from Moraine. Like, I remember saying in my last part, yeah, like I said, I trust Moraine completely, and I think she's a good one. But I'm not gonna lie, as the chapters are piling up, Moraine is becoming unpredictable, very unpredictable. So anyway, after that happened, right, everyone, like all the Emmonsfields except for Egwene, everyone pretty much is very suspicious of Moraine. Like, did she really just sink a ship that actually helped us get to the other side of the road? So that happened, right? Speaking of Egwene, so while they were traveling to this city called what was it called again? Berlin. I'm just gonna say Berlin for now, man. They would obviously hide multiple times to camp and stuff, and to sleep and eat. And while that happened, each time Moraine would take Egwene out for a walk, so they could talk for hours and hours. And once we found out what they were talking about, they were talking about some very interesting stuff. Now, obviously, through the conversation, we get to learn more about the One Power. So the One Power comes from the True Source, which I think turns the Wheel of Time or whatever, or something like that. And it's divided into 2 powers. One's called Saidin and the other one's called Saidar. Saidin, I think, is the one for the males, and the Saidar is the one for the females. Now, Saidin has a drawback. So it's like it's tainted by the Dark One's evilness. So in order to reach Saidin, you have to go through the Dark One's evilness. So it's like, they did mention in the book, right? It's like a glass of water. The water is the power, while the oil on top is like the Dark One's evilness. So, my bad. So that's why men go absolutely insane when they use the One Power, because they have to go through the Dark One's power in order to touch Saidin. And coming back to the prologue, that's probably what happened to Luz. I forgot his last name, but yeah, that's probably what happened to him. That's why he has gone mad and stuff. So, you know what I'm interested about? Yeah, Luz created that mountain after, right? By touching the One Power. I wonder what happened after he did that. He must have gone crazy again. Maybe, I'm not sure. And then we also learned about the Red Ager. Like, they're like some kind of a Aes Sedai, and they hunt down male users who try to use the One Power, because apparently that's going to create more destruction. Okay, fair enough. I guess that kind of makes sense, because the dragon is going to be a male, and the dragon can touch the One Power, and obviously that is going to bring some destruction. So that's pretty cool. The Red Ager, that's a pretty cool name as well, not gonna lie. And I think they are also found in Tar Valon. So then the big shocking reveal: Egwene wants to become an Aes Sedai, and Moraine said that she is capable of becoming an Aes Sedai. Like, I absolutely did not see that coming. Egwene becoming an Aes Sedai? I mean, like, I don't know what to think of that, to be honest. Like, damn. One thing I'm very excited about is if Egwene does have like a training session, I would want to experience that. Like, I reckon Moraine training Egwene to become like an Aes Sedai, that is going to be absolutely crazy, man. Okay, this is something I'm not sure of. The Aes Sedai right now, they are all a bunch of females, I think. But they used to be male Aes Sedai, or maybe there still is a male Aes Sedai. Maybe the Red Ager is the male Aes Sedai, I'm not sure. But so the male Aes Sedai, right, they used to be the one who actually helped the Dark One. So this is my prediction, right? obviously if you're an Aes Sedai, right, you can touch the one power. So when the males use it, they have to touch saidin, and once they actually touch the power itself, they have to go through the dark one. So maybe after they finish using the one power, then they get possessed or corrupted by the power, and then they're forced to help the dark one. It's almost like in Lord of the Rings, the ring belongs to Sauron, right? It always wants to go back. So you can do so many things with the ring, right? Like go invincible and do all these other crazy stuff. But the more you use it, the more corrupted your mind becomes. Maybe the one power from saidin is kind of similar to that. I'm not sure, but maybe. We also learn about the 5 powers, how there's 5 elements. Now, this is a very big shocking part to me. I did not expect the magic system to be like in forms of an element kind of thing, you know what I mean? We've got earth, wind, fire, water, and spirits, and we know that male can use earth and fire, while women not can use, I think they specialize in that, because we know that Moraine used earth and fire in this read. So but males, they are specialized in earth and fire, while women have wind, water, and spirit. I'm not sure how spirit is going to be used. That seems very, very cool. But water, wind, earth, and fire, it's very basic elements to work with, and honestly I'm a big fan of it. Elemental powers are some of my favorite power systems, especially like if you guys have watched the Avatar Last Airbender, right? That's pretty much their magic system. They have earth, fire, water, and did I miss something? Air, that's the one. And that's pretty much the same thing here. We've got earth, wind. Instead of air, we have wind, fire, and water, and spirit. See, spirit's a very interesting one. Only women can do that, or maybe women can specialize in that. So spirits, what could that mean? And after some time, they finally reach Berlin, and before they even enter the city, they all decide to, not all of them, Lan and Moraine in specific, they decide to keep a low profile. They literally changed the name. Moraine went by the name Elise, and Lan, is it Lan? Yeah, Lan went by the name of Andra. So they have obviously been there before, and they obviously have changed their name. So that's what they went by as they entered the city. Once everyone decided to get the rest they needed, and a decent amount of them fell asleep, Rand had another dream, and this dream is quite another one to mess up your mind, to be honest. In this dream, we got to meet Ba al-Zaman. Like, this guy was, I don't know what this guy is, to be honest. Like, there's so many possibilities on what this guy could be. Like, I'm here thinking it's the betrayer from the prologue. It could be him, and he could, but how's he alive for like so many years? Like, he mentioned so many names that lived in different time periods, except for Logain. Logain is the one that actually lives currently, who is, I think, is the one that's called the dragon. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the one that's the dragon right now, or the proclaimed dragon. That's Logain. But Ba al-Zaman, this guy has like fire coming out of his eyes and mouth. I don't know what this guy is, and he seems very scary, and he targeted all Rand, Mat, and Perrin. Like, he came in all of their dreams, and I think he is trying to get to Moraine. I think he is trying to eliminate the Aes Sedai. That's why he told all 3 of them to go and tell Moraine about this later onwards, but obviously they didn't. But I think he's after Moraine. I don't know why. Like, I actually can't make any kind of predictions at this point with Ba al-Zaman. The only conclusion I came up with is that he is the guy from the prologue who was known as a betrayer. The dream pretty much freaked out all of them. Like, Perrin refused to leave their house. He just wanted more rest, and Rand was like, let me just get some fresh air and clear my mind. And while he did that, we got to meet Min. Now, Min, I think she is a very interestingly important character that is going to play a big role in the future. She sees things in people, which is kind of creepy at times, the way she portrays herself. But she also spoke about the pattern and sparks and shadows, how she can see it, and she was saying like how you guys are all a part of it, Egwene included, and soon another character, which absolutely shocked me, but we're not up to there yet, so we will get there. So pretty much to break it down, the Emond's Field is Tom and Lan and Moraine are all like some kind of thing that belongs in the pattern. Like, they all are important. I feel like, I don't know, it's like a puzzle. Do you know what I mean? So they all like complete each other. See, with this book, right, I feel like there's so many small things that you can easily pick on. Like, I can easily pick on all these little things that Min is saying, like how Mat is like some eagle, and how Perrin is like some wolf. I forgot what Ren was, but That's what I can think of, but it makes no sense to me at the moment, but I know it's going to make sense later on. Well, that's why I'm kind of annoyed. I want to know right now, but hey man, that's the whole fun of it. Actually, one more thing I want to mention is in Rand's dream, Balan Zamon, he broke a bunch of rats, or not a bunch, maybe one, but he broke their back like that. Do you know what I mean? So he broke their back. And when Rand woke up and went downstairs and was talking to the cook, right? The cook was like, the rats' backs have been broken as well. Like, there's so many things that are connecting, but I can't connect anything outside of that. Like, what does that mean? Like, how? Anyway, we also find out that the peddler, I think it's Faden or Fadin, something like that. He's also in town and he seems very suspicious. And Rand was like, meet me in the inn and I won't tell Moraine that you are here. And he agreed, but he never came. Or did he? Because, oh yeah, because they did. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't pick up on this. They left the night, which we'll get to. So maybe the peddler came the day after and something must have happened. Or maybe just not. We also learn about the Children of Light, who also wear white cloaks to identify themselves as the Children of Light. I think they're just some people who stand against the Dark One. And why do they hate the Aes Sedai? See, with them, I don't understand them completely. Like, they just contradict who they are completely. Like, it just doesn't make sense with me. The Children of Light, I'm assuming that opposes like Dark Friends, all that stuff. But why the Aes Sedai? Doesn't the what? So yeah, with the Children of Light, I don't understand them completely. All I know is that if you mention like Trollocs, Murdrolls, Dark Friends, Aes Sedai, you are going to be in big trouble with these guys, and these guys are quite troublesome. And to one of the most biggest reveals in this whole arc, Nynaeve, she is back. What? Now, before everyone can even meet Nynaeve, Min took Rand aside and she's like, that girl with the braids on her hair, which is Nynaeve, she is also a part of this pattern. So now we have Nynaeve on this journey as well. Wow. But so far, I'm loving Nynaeve's character. I think she is going to be a good fit in our crew. So I'm very happy with that. So Nynaeve claims that she is here to take back the Emmonsfields back to their home. And she wants them to go no further onwards. However, I think Nynaeve's motive is something else. She is definitely up to something. And just to mention that Nynaeve also told Rand that Moraine might be after people who's actually born outside the Emmonsfield. So there's a possibility that Rand's father is actually not Tam. Maybe his father was an Aes Sedai. If I'm right, I'm actually so sick. Anyway, next we come to one of my favorite scenes in these whole of 10 chapters I've read. The dance inside of the inn. Like, I don't know what made me enjoy that. I felt like the dance just took so much tension off from the story. Like, and it was actually so funny. Like, one part absolutely was hilarious. I remember when Rand was dancing, yeah, they were exchanging partners as they were dancing. And then his next partner was Nynaeve, and Rand was like, yo, I'm dancing with the Wisdom, the most scariest person in the whole of Emmonsfield. I'm dancing with it right now. And next, if the Wisdom was not enough, he was dancing with an Aes Sedai. Like, honestly, when I read that, I could not read for the next 2 minutes, man. I was just laughing, man. Like, yo, imagine dancing with an Aes Sedai. That's scary. That's so scary, man. But like, that scene was so good. Like, it just balanced everything out. Like, there was just so much tension in the whole story from the start to here. And then we get this fun bit of scene which I actually adored so much. So Robert Jordan, man, appreciate that so much, man. That dance scene was amazing. I loved it, man. But of course, happiness and fun cannot last for long, because a Murdrol was in the end. Now my question is, who gave them away? Was it the guy with the scar who was staring at them while they were dancing, or was it someone else? Was it the peddler? Oh, I think I thought of something. It was a peddler. It has to be the peddler. The peddler is a dark friend, because Rand told the peddler, meet us in the inn. So the peddler knew that they were with an inn. And Rand also told the peddler that Moraine was an Aes Sedai. So the peddler might be the dark one. There's a very high chance, like after I'm connecting all this stuff together, the peddler. It's not the guy with the scar. Because he was just looking at them, and I think Jordan did that to make his reader believe that it was him. But I think it might be the peddler, Faden. I think he might be the one to give them away. But then there's also a very popular saying that you think you know where this is going, but then you'll just get absolutely embarrassed. So can't wait to find out. Once the Murdrel decides to leave them, because I think just dealing with an Aes Sedai and a ward at the same time is too much for a Murdrel, Lan had decided that they have to leave right now at this very instant because their location has been spotted. And just before they were about to leave the city, a bunch of white cloaks came, which just made everything a lot more difficult. And that's when we saw Moraine use more of the one power, and this time she turned into a giant. Like she defeated the white cloaks, not defeated them, just maybe scared them off, and yeah, everyone escaped, and she literally walked over the wall, and then once she came back, then she became normal. But still, she can turn into a giant. Is that using spirit? Cause that's not fire, that's not water, that's not earth, that's not wind. That has to be some sort of spirit magic. Okay, from literally here onward, it's literally all action-packed tension scenes. That's mad crazy. So once they left the city of Barlin, they heard like a bunch of Trolloc horns that's like very far away, but as they kept going, the horns became closer and closer until they could actually see a Murdrel leading a bunch of Trollocs, like hundreds of them. I think even at one point, right, they could not outrun the Trollocs, so Lan just decided to charge straight at the Trollocs. And so Lan obviously took the Murdrel, and while everyone else took a bunch of Trollocs around them. So the Trollocs had the upper hand on most of them until Lan. I think Lan was the one who killed the Murdrel, and then all of the Trollocs were screaming. Like, I think they connected to the Murdrel somehow, because once the Murdrel was defeated, all the Trollocs just stopped whatever they were doing, and that gave them the chance to escape. And while they were escaping, another bunch came, but this time not one Murdrel. It was led by 3 Murdrels, hundreds of Trollocs behind them, and that's when Moraine did some epic stuff. Moraine used earth and fire to create like a earth tsunami that's like a tsunami with land that's coming over at them, and created like a whole bunch of mess. And the fire, she created a massive firewall so none of them could cross them, and that gave them a lot of time to move on. She also uses wind magic, right, where she gathered everyone's scent and she tossed it to another location where the Trollocs and Murdrels would then follow. Now the magic she used was not female magic, it was I think male specialized magic, and that's why she was very tired after that. And here is where I suspect Nynaeve. She constantly was up on Moraine's sleeve. Like she always got to her, she was giving her some drugs. I don't know if those drugs actually healed her or if there are any side effects later onwards where she can have the upper hand over Moraine, because I don't think Nynaeve completely trusts Moraine at this moment of time. Man, I love the fact that Nynaeve's a part of her crew now. Like, it's just better now, just so much better. I love Nynaeve, man, I actually love her. Then we got to our third location in this part, and this location was an abandoned city, and this city was huge. Like, it was way bigger than Barlin. It was so much bigger, like everyone was like shocked at how big it was. So everyone who's smart decided to sleep and rest, because that seemed the most logical thing to do. And then there was Matt, and of course Rand and Perrin just had to follow him. Matt decided to explore the area, which fair enough, they explored. But once they came across a stranger called Mordeth, like, why would you trust a stranger in a city where no one lives? Like, why? So Mordeth claimed he was a treasure hunter and that he had a bunch of treasure. If they helped him get the treasure to his horses, he would give them a share. So he took them deep down into some place, and there was a lot of treasure. And then Matt again Matt just casually told the stranger that they were going to Tar Valon with an Aes Sedai and so on, and that absolutely terrified Mordeth. And he was like, you know what, you're dead. You guys are dead now. He literally expanded and a whole bunch of shadows came out of him, and they were after all of those three, and they just managed to escape that area. They ran for their lives until they were back to the hideout, and once they were back, they told them everything, and Moiraine was like, wait, did you just say the name Mordeth? Are you sure? And then Moiraine gave the history of the city, how Mordeth corrupted the king's or the leader's mind, and how they also used to be like an ally of the Emond's Field area. What was it called again? Manarethan? I'm not sure. I probably messed that name up, but yeah, all that history. Which, you know, one thing with the Eye of the World, right? There's so much history and stuff like that, which I can't really grasp on to everything. But now I get what you guys are saying. Like on rereads, this show is going to be so much better, because every time Moiraine tells us all these ancient stories, even Tom, when he tells us all these stories, I can go like, oh yeah, that's what he's talking about. But right now, I have no idea what they're talking about. I can just say, oh yeah, Mordeth is just a person who corrupted the leader, his mind's evil and so on, but that's all I could really say. Anyway, at late night when everyone was asleep, Lan came back and he told Moiraine that there's actually Trollocs and Murdrolls inside of this city right now, and they have to leave ASAP. While they were all leaving, Lan and Moiraine got separated from the rest by an evil spirit called Mashadar, I think. Mashadar, that's the one. So Mashadar is like an evil spirit that takes the form of a fog that can expand throughout the whole city, and if it touches you, you're dead. You're pretty much dead. If Mashadar gets to you, you dead, man. So that's kind of creepy. And then that's when Moiraine was like, you know what, we can't go together right now, we have to meet somewhere, so let's meet at the river, follow that red star. So that's what everyone did, and things went bad. Literally one by one, everyone just got separated because a bunch of Trollocs are attacking them out of nowhere, like from different directions. There's just Trollocs everywhere, and they just got separated, man, and I don't like it. I like how they're all together, and now they're just getting separated. So we know that Rand, Matt and Tom, they are together, and then Egwene and Perrin met up, but then they later on got separated after Perrin fell on water, and I don't know where Egwene is, and now Perrin's by himself, completely like lost, and Egwene, I'm assuming she's also by herself. And we know that Lan and Moiraine is together, and we also know that Rand, Tom and Matt, they managed to get on a boat that is, I don't know where it's going, to be honest, and we don't know where Nynaeve is, and that's concerning because she's literally like my favorite character right now, and I miss Nynaeve. And that is what I have managed in this part, and a lot had happened in this part compared to the first part. But okay, number one, our crew is separated, and I don't like that. I just love how they were all together. It just creates so much tension right now. We just don't know where Nynaeve is. Like, we didn't even get anything about her from where I have read. Alright, time for some predictions now. Now let's start off with the Red Ager. I don't know if they are a part of the Aes Sedai, or maybe they're excluded, but I think some of them might be Dark Friends. And I actually think that some of the Aes Sedai also might be Dark Friends, because so far I'm seeing a connection between the Fellowship of the Ring and the Eye of the World. Even though I've never read the book, I've watched the movie, but I see a connection, right? Like, and if I was to match one thing to another, let's say the Nazgul is the Murdrolls, and obviously the Trollocs are the Orcs, I can say that the Aes Sedai are the wizards. That's the conclusion I can come up with. So we know that Saruman was a betrayer. We know that he was a betrayer, and he was a wizard. So I think one of the Aes Sedai is going to be a betrayer as well, and that Aes Sedai is going to be working for the Dark One, but it's obviously under protection of the Aes Sedai, like it's covering up as an Aes Sedai. So that might be the case, cause I don't know, but I think I have made a very good point. And my second prediction, let's go back to Baal Zamon. Baal Zamon said that all three of the Emond's Field boys, they belong to the Dark One. So from what I've read so far, the Dark One is currently trapped. So before he got trapped, did he like bind his soul to something else? And maybe that could be the Emond's Fielders. Maybe that's why the Trollocs want them so much. So they need one of these three boys, if not all three of these boys, to release the Dark One into the world. I think that might be where everything is going towards. However, I also think that can be a very bad prediction, but you never know, man. You never know. I feel like that's why they're desperate. That's why they're desperate, because let's say if the Aes Sedai gets to them first, the good ones, then the Dark One obviously is going to be trapped forever. However, if he could get to them, he could use them somehow to free himself or to make him more powerful, something like that. Maybe that's the case, I'm not sure. And of course, the last prediction I came up with was literally inside of this video. I think the peddler, which was Faden, is also a dark friend. I think he is the one that informed the murderers that they were inside of that inn at Barlen. I think I messed up that name multiple times in the city, but I allow it. I don't think we're going to come back to the city in a very long time, so lucky me. And I still think that Moraine is good. I don't think she's bad, even though she has some very twisted way of saying things. Like that time when she was like, remember, I will get you to Tar Valon, and if I don't, I will just kill you. Like, she's very straightforward, but I think she's still good. I don't think she's bad at all. Maybe she's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. She's a very confusing character. Very confusing. But can we just give a round of applause to Nynaeve? I think her character is just amazing, bro. I love Nynaeve. She actually might be my favorite character right now. Nynaeve is my favorite character, 100%. And one more thing, I think I mentioned this before as well. Right now, university workload is crazy right now, so the chapters that I'm going to read is going to drop most likely. However, I will still make a video on whatever I have read. If it's maybe, I don't know, 5 chapters or 7 chapters or even 10, I will still make a video every Sunday to keep my progress updated for you guys. So thank you guys again for sticking around. I really appreciate it. The engagements to these Wheel of Time videos have been very, very good. It's been the best so far on my channel, so I really appreciate you guys. I really do, and I really mean it. Like, wow, like I'm actually excited to read, to make a video on Sundays for you guys, just because of the engagement that's been happening. And yeah, thank you so much again. I really do mean it. Thank you. And that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to give me a big like, and if you still have not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye.